This is my review for Disney, Hulu's, whoever's new animated movie, Predator Killer of Killers. Let's talk about whether you should give your time to this. Three of the fiercest warriors in human history become prey to the ultimate killer of killers. So director Dan Trachtenberg, along with Joshua Wassung, directs this. Dan Trachtenberg obviously directed the last installment of the standalone Predator movies that we're now getting called Prey, and he's going to be doing another one that's coming up soon, I believe. I also am now believing that they're all connected somehow, but also standalone as individual storylines. Here we have an animation studio. Well, not just an animation, we have a production studio that has worked on everything from House of the Dragon to some of the Marvel movies, some Star Wars, a lot of games. They do VFX, previs. They know what they're doing. And so I was excited to see what they could do with the Prey universe. The animation style here is very similar to one of the latest Spider-Man animated movies we've had. And I think it works well in this story. What I wasn't expecting, because I saw a couple of clips, but I avoided like any kind of story beats, was that this is a sort of anthology, but also not. We have three different storylines here. We have the story of a Viking warrior with her son, and then we have the story of samurai warriors or brothers, and then we have a story that's set in World War II of a pilot, and we are basically showcased different types of warriors, and then we're showcased different types of predators. And what the predator does, as always, is watching its prey, trying to find the best prey to take back as that trophy, polish the skull, the things that we know what Predator does at this point. So it doesn't try to rewrite the book, but it does give us things that we've been wanting to watch or see from the Predator universe for ages. The original Predator movie with Schwarzenegger gave us a little inkling into the psyche of exactly what the species is, completely warrior-based, trophy-based. Number 2, with Danny Glover, we saw Danny Glover getting a weapon from World War II as a trophy for beating them. Here, we get a lot more of what's going on in their world, mostly because of how this film ties up. The action is brutal, and it's exactly like you'd expect it to be. Just because it's animation doesn't mean they've shied away from the gore and blood. No, in fact, they're able to show us more of the gadgets of each different type of predator creation. And when it comes to them, we get a huge beast of a predator with various gadgets. Then we get one that is more stealthy, like in the samurai episode, and then we get one that is a pilot, and it's really starting to kind of peek behind the curtains of the world that we've been wanting to imagine. They're showcasing different gadgets that we haven't seen before, some of the tech, and more of the story of like what makes their hierarchy tick. If you haven't read the books, and you probably don't know much about this Predator universe. And the film wraps up by giving us a big crescendo of a brilliant battle sequence that is basically everything that we want, like between video game and animation, building up to where we see warriors have to fight and take on a predator champion. I mean, you can guess where the story is going to go once you've seen the individual short stories and how they connect to each other. But I don't think you'll mind that because of the pacing of how each individual story quickly gets into the action, quickly establishes what the story is. There's emotional ties in each of the episodes that I really liked. It reminded me of how Love, Death and Robots used to be in like the original stories. They were able to take short animated stories, but complete stories in some of them. It's amazing how much you can pack into a short story and not have to have any padding. Have your audience emotionally entangled with the characters that they're watching, so that when you're seeing the blood and gore and stuff, you do care about it. Otherwise, it just becomes noise. Here, they managed to do that with each of the stories. Now, I think with each of the three characters, there's going to be people that enjoyed the most. I loved each and every one because I've been wanting to see a Predator fight a Viking for ages. We get to see that in all its glory, and it's a beast of a Predator. And then I've been wanting to see, there's different locations that if you're a fan of the Predator franchise or just the world or the idea of it, you want to see different iterations of it. And seeing a samurai or a ninja fight these predators or a predator is another thing that you can tick off your bucket list of entertainment media segments of like, yeah, that is definitely something else I wanted to see. I didn't know that I would see any plane fights or dog fights. I didn't know that was a thing that I wanted to see, but now having seen it, I'm like, yes, from now on, this is how you make Predator movies. Standalone individual stories. Prey was great. This one has great character motivations for being in the battle, not just because I'm a warrior. No, there are character beats that make you care about what's going on screen. So when we get the gore and their Predator special weaponry and their honorific type, you earn what you keep sort of mentality, then I think you will care about how they display the gore, and when there's body parts coming off, which you will see, when there's brutal and visceral moments of people dying on screen, which you will see because it's a Predator movie. I think you'll love this. The animation really steps up its game here with the type of gore that you have. Predator green blood, human red blood, displayed brilliantly within the shadows and the animation between snow vistas, between arena vistas, and then we have the score that complements all of that. And then to add the final quiver to make this excellent, as good as it is, we have an outstanding voice cast. You got alumni like Doug Cockle voicing one of the characters. Doug Cockle, in case you don't know, is Geralt of Rivia in the Witcher games. Really knows what he's doing. Great actor, but you probably will recognize some of the voice actors in here, but nobody does a bad job. Everybody does their A game here, bringing to life the characters. Damien Haas, another one that I think people will recognize as a great voice acting within the animation here, really helping to add the vibrancy of the realistic nature of these characters. I thought this was a wild ride, and I'm going to be watching it a number of times. If I had to pick something that I absolutely didn't love, it's really tough for me to do. I think I would say that there are a couple of moments in story elements where a character suddenly knows how to control a predator thing. And I think for the sake of it, we don't mind it, but I don't know how that would relate to we know there's really advanced technology because I happen to be smart and I can figure it out in, 20 seconds. I'm not sure I buy that, but for the story plot beats, I allowed it. So I'm going to give this 4.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
I guess I was pretty horny.
Let me know what you thought about this. Are you excited to watch it? Have you watched it yet? And how would you rank all of the Predator movies that we've had so far? The bottom two would probably be the Alien vs. Predator Requiem movies because, they're fun to watch, but they aren't very good. Then I would have The Predator because of the alien shredder, as I call it, armor that we get at the end of that movie. It's a ridiculous movie that they dumbed it down to be at 12. So that would go in there. Predators, the Predator movie on another planet. That had some good action, but again, is very forgettable. I would then put Predator Dark Ages, a fan-based movie that was so well done. It's, knights in armor, very, very well done. Check that out on YouTube, definitely well worth a go. And then I would put Predator 2 because Danny Glover is great. Then I would put Prey because I love that movie. Then I would put the original Predator movie with Schwarzenegger.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
And I'm probably going to put this at number 1 because it incorporates everything that I love, from the Predator universe to the animation studio to the voice actors. This was everything I could want from a Predator all in one movie. So let me know your ranking. Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.